Welcome in Microgeneracja TV. We are in Bellevuestown County Meet, where we're building increased self-consumption / off-grid system, which is actually built. Skystream wind turbine and 2.5 kilowatt of PV is there, which is still not enough to supply such a big house. Well, to provide enough energy to supply such a big house with a swimming pool, where the pump runs for water filtration for 8 hours per day. Swimming pool is heated by oil. But what we're doing here, we're adding 35 monocrystallic 285 watt peak modules on this swimming pool roof, and hopefully that be enough now to have some fun. Well, in a day like this, I cannot say a bad word about this country. Even in a rainy day, I cannot say a bad word about this country. I'm here 10 years, and not because I have to, I just like it here. Why? Because there is lots of space. So, well, that's it. We're using a Clenergy mounting system, which is the easiest type of roof to do, trapezoidal. This type of brackets, they go in here. Sometimes we have double sheet, sometimes not. But it's easy and fast. That's why I like those roofs. Cable is ready here. Inside we have Fronius 8 kilowatt inverter, and we're gonna have 10 kilowatts of DC power here. 35 multiply 0.285 kilowatt makes 10 kilowatts of DC. 2 strings, 2 MPPTs. Here you go, first 7 modules already on the roof. They all connected in series, and we're gonna go another 7. That'll be 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 modules in one row and 18 modules in one row. So there's 4 cables in this DC link going to the inverter. Woohoo! Flying. So one of the biggest domestic systems in Ireland is ready. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 modules, 2.5 kilowatt, 2.5 kilowatt wind turbine, and there on the swimming pool roof, 35 of 285 watt peak modules, which is close to 10 kilowatt. 10 plus 5, 15 kilowatt peak of green energy, and this house needs 50 to 60 units per day, when 1/3 is a swimming pool pump. Lots of washing, cooking, stuff like this. So here we are one more time. Victron Multiplus 5 kilowatt, 4 lithium batteries with the battery management system, 200 ampere hour each, so 10 kilowatt hour capacity. Fronius 8 kilowatt inverter, and I'm just going through the settings because the charge efficiency was 100%. Should be 98, 97 for lithium. Fronius is online already, so I update shortly. Okay, we are a week later, and I'm trying just to remotely get settings, the last settings which I updated there. But before I download this, I just show you, well, maybe you start from Fronius. That's our Fronius. We didn't have much sun over the last week. That's a day, but what I like here, you can see each of the MPPTs. Well, Fronius is doing 10, 15 kilowatt hours per day in a cloudy day. That's not much from 10 kilowatts, but that's just how it is. We have October and the tilt angle of the roof, I don't know, 5 degrees. If there is 5 degrees, that'd be good. Right, so here's the house consumption. I said the house is using close to 50 kilowatt hours, but what happened, the swimming pool pump is, shortly speaking, out of order for a while because the windings get hot. So the yellow part is the direct consumption, the blue part is from the battery. So as you can see, Monday 7.5 kilowatt hour used from the battery, 7.8 Tuesday, and 10 kilowatt hours is a capacity of the battery. But let's have a look before we added the, which is 2 weeks back, 16 October. The swimming pool pump was on, you see, 50 kilowatt or more than 50 kilowatt hour usage per day here on Monday, and there was, simply speaking, not enough power to charge battery. So as you can see, very little usage of the battery. We have settings now. We can save on a desktop and have a look at that. It's here. So 97 is our charge efficiency, and I think it's still a bit too high. I'll show you in a minute why. And here is another setting: state of charge when bulk is finished, 90%. So if we go to, let's have a look. Okay, if we go to advanced tab, and if we look, we're looking now at the last 7 days. Okay, so that's when we installed the system. As you can see, maximum generation was today 3.7 kilowatt from the Fronius. Down below we have the other shed where the wind turbine is, and those 10 poly modules. So 1.5 kilowatt was maximum. What we can see here below is the shed usage. Sometimes the owner is doing something in the shed. The whole shed is wired through the meter, so it's actually counting production and it's showing the consumption also. Anyway, this is AC consumption. As you can see, there's no swimming pool pump. I can quickly show you this, how it looked when the swimming pool pump was there. So if we pick a date from 9th to 16th, set the time, AC consumption. Okay, here you go. Pump ran for 3 hours or 2 hours, no, 3 hours, 3 hours break. 1:15, sorry, 2 hours run, 3 hours break. 2 hours run, 3 hours break. Anyway, let's go back here to the last 7 days. Whoops. That's all my sites. I pick this one, I pick advanced. Last 24 hours works this time. As you can see, today was nice day, and not so clear morning, but very nice afternoon. Let's have a look. Well, let's have a look at last 24 hours. So that's the shed, very similar. Very little wind here. That's the system consumption. So the base load through the night, 400 to 500. Here is a kilowatt, and the peak load 9.5 kilowatt. Yeah, that's a lot for domestic house, but there is no pump, swimming pool pump here, but that doesn't matter. This is input power from the grid. So from here to here when it's flat, from here to here, here is actually a little bit of export. That means the batteries are full. And there is nothing. So the power is taken from the grid from here to here. Nothing taken here, nothing here, a little bit exported here, nothing here, and 3 kilowatts taken here because the peak load was 9 kilowatts, so 5 kilowatt was delivered by Multiplus. AC output power, so as you can see it below is charging, above is delivering. AC output voltage and current, this is very nice graph showing DC current and DC voltage. Let me zoom this piece. The blue one is DC voltage and this one is the current. It was pushing almost maximum current, 68 amps to the battery from 11:42 to 1 o'clock, and then the sun went down. That's today, yeah? Solar yield. In the morning, little solar consumed directly, then we have more energy than we need, then it's being pushed to the battery, to the battery, to the battery. Consumption, well, battery was empty in the morning, so you're pulling from the grid, and then little bit directly, little bit from the battery, and that's this peak of 9 kilowatts. So today 50% consumed directly, 15% from the battery and 35% from the grid, and that's not the end of the day, so it should be more from the battery, because right now we have a full battery. Probably it will not be full until morning, but let's see last 7 days at the end. It's getting long. Last 7 days. Let me find out what's the story. What I like here also, remote access to the color control. Not very fast, but it's here and you can actually change the settings, manipulate with the buttons. This is interesting tab for charger settings, so absorption voltage, flow voltage, charge current, lithium batteries checked. Virtual switch I'm not using, and assistant self-consumption hub 4. We can run through the whole assistant because picking assistant is easy with the settings. Here is dynamic cutoff, so when the Multiplus is delivering full power, voltage can drop below 50. Yeah, that's when you're pulling 100 amps from your lithium battery. So that's your setting. When the discharge current is 140 amps, turn off at 49.2 volt. When your discharge current is 50 amps, turn off at 50. And when your discharge current is only 1 amp, turn off at 51. This is to protect battery, but clever way. That's it, and the last assistant is PV inverter setup. That's when the grid goes, and when the battery reach absorption voltage, we want, when the battery reach absorption voltage, something has to happen with the power from the roof if it's still sunny. So the way it works, Multiplus increases frequency from 50.2 Hz to 52.7 Hz, and Fronius is programmed this way to decrease or reduce output with increasing frequency. That's a simple linear function, yeah? Over 2.5 Hz, decrease 100%. So the frequency could be something like 51 Hz, then the Fronius is giving only 50% of its full power. And that way we can have a nice absorption voltage. And when the user is turning on the devices during the absorption period, then the frequency goes back to the 50 Hz and the Fronius gives full power again. Well, so it finally shows this last 7 days. So that's Fronius, that's a shed with a wind turbine, that's AC consumption of the house, that's AC input power. So those are the periods when we didn't need any energy from the grid. That's when we were exporting, a little bit here, a little bit here, and the rest is the import above the axis, voltage and current and state of charge. So that's what I'm talking about. It's 31% before and 34% after, and it cuts off at the same voltage. So you need to adjust the charge efficiency a bit, because as you can see it's rising. Yeah, so if you adjust charge efficiency, it will be charging slower, and then it should go down to the same level. Yeah, so I change this next time to 96% and it should be fine. Or it can be too much, then we will end up going down. Output power, frequency, voltage and current, and this is nice. Yeah, battery, voltage and current, nothing. Yeah, so that's the moments when we not using battery. Above is when we using energy from the battery, and below is when we charging the battery. Sorry, above is when we charging the battery. Yeah, 68 amps it was maximum, and it was actually today. And the maximum discharge current 100 amps. Nice. And the voltage, well, it's hard to see. Let's have a look at today. Voltage went down at 100 amps. Voltage went down at 51.85 volt because it was high, yeah. So here you can see 51 volt is minimum, but here we got 50 volts today at the current of 90 amps, and the system was running. Okie dokie, my friends. Greetings from Bettystown, which is not far from the place I was talking about. And we have already those days when we miss that sunshine.